so that was, again, following kind of in her footsteps too. Whenever we were in the States, certainly whenever Rela came to Israel, we always enjoyed having time to spend with her and have discussions and hear about what's going on in Jewish sociology in America, what the issues were. And whenever we were in the States, we didn't see Rela very often, but we were able to, I did try to make a phone call, and we usually had a long phone call, and all the issues came up, and we had long discussions, and it was always amazing to me that even times when she wasn't feeling so well, she had very strong opinions, and she had the energy to discuss it and even argue a little bit. And so we all have very fond memories, and Yehi Zichra Baruch.
And now another feminine voice, my wife, Sheila.
Thank you to everybody for coming. Do I need it? You hear me? No, do I need it? I just sat down and wrote my thoughts down in Hebrew, so I'm going to have to translate it. I don't know how that happened. I'm David's wife. I'm not the cousin. I'm married to the cousin, but somehow I'm the family facilitator in many ways and the communicator. So, and I think from everybody in the room, it's amazing. David mentioned it, that we were just in the Philadelphia area, and we were the last one from everybody here to see her 10 days before she passed away. My brother lives in Media, so every time we go to visit him, we always call Rela and we try to visit. This time, we spoke to her and we talked about going out to lunch, and that had to be planned because, you know, she was limited now with how she could get around. And when it came time to visit her, on a Thursday, we took the train into Philadelphia. It was pouring. And so we spoke to her in the morning, and she said she was very tired that day. She hadn't slept all night. So we decided lunch was out, but she said, but I really want to see you. And these words just keep echoing. I really want to see you. I really want you to come. And we came, and the first thing I noticed was that Rela was very, very pale. She was white. And, you know, I made a mental note, but, you know, once we visited, she was great, and she was very personable, and whenever I went into the apartment, we visited her often in her apartment, which whoever's visited knows it was a beautiful, beautiful apartment. I always thought of Harriet Elazar, because when I looked at the kitchen, I know that Harriet had designed the kitchen, and she did such a beautiful job on the kitchen. She was... Just her spirit was in the apartment, so I enjoyed that. And Rela she told us that she was tired, that she hadn't slept. She said, but she had plans to go out in the evening to the theater with her grandson, with Uri's youngest. But if she said, if I'm too tired, Uri said that he would take him instead. He would come by later. And then she went through the things in the house. You know, we usually admired, she had such beautiful things, so she talked about the Geffen walking stick, and then I think there was a Mintz walking stick, and and the Vilna Shas, and she filled us in the pictures and how they were discovered and cleaned. And, she was like a curator of a museum, and she enjoyed everything around her, and really was blessed to have the years where she was stuck in the house, but she had such a lovely environment, so that was a blessing. And then the third thing was to ask about our family. We went through everybody, and it's a lot. And she was overjoyed when I told her that my granddaughter Shiri is in Pelech. That made her afternoon, and that her sister, who's bat mitzvah now, is on the way to Pelech. Oh, that just made her so happy. I think I better look at my notes, because I'm just going free. Let's see. I think I pretty much... at some point, after about an hour, she said that she was tired, so we accompanied her back to the bedroom, and she gave me a book. She took out this book, and she said, here, you take it, it's very good, I enjoyed it very much. It's the memoirs of Sonia Sotomayor, I hope I pronounced her name. She's Justice on the Supreme Court. She came from a very humble and poor environment, a Puerto Rican child, a poor child growing up in Bronx. And her father was an alcoholic, and she had diabetes as a very young child and learned to give herself injections. Very, very interesting personality. Rela's background, of course, was privileged, Upper West Side, and nothing like it. But after I read the book, I realized why she liked it so much. It was just, the personality was so similar to Rela's. It was just amazing, and I just wrote down a few things, just a few things. Wait. I'll say it in Hebrew and in English. Ahavat chayim, love of life. Optimiyut, optimism. Nechishut lamrot nesibot kashot, persistence in the face of diversity. Lerot et hatov ba'anashim, seeing the best in people. Tzmuda lakarka, down to earth. I remember when we listened to the funeral, that Rela's nieces, one of her nieces, I think Nancy, said that Rela was as comfortable discussing a recipe as she was one of her books, and that was really one of her traits. Tzmuda lakarka, avodah kasha, hard work, isuk intellectual giant, feminist, mishpacha v'chaverim tovim, family and friends, and shech pilut lamrot machala, fighting illness and not letting it curtail her life. פשוט אישה חזקה, חיובית, חכמה ונחושה. Exactly the personality, exactly Rela. And the last thing that Rela asked me to do was to give this book to Ruthie. So, Ruthie, you're getting it. I'm fulfilling her last request. So, what can I say? Everybody said such nice things, and everything is true, and she, hey, Zechrech Baruch, and I hope we did you honor.
Everyone could stand. We'd like to say Chodesh in Rela's memory.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויאמר דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי. וחיי יקון וביום יקון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, עלה בזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם, יתנשא, יתהדר ויתעלה, יתהלוש, בדקודשה בריחו. אלה מכל ברכתה, רתה, ושפחתה ונחמתה, דמירן מעלמה, ואמרו אמן. על ישראל ועל רבנן ועל תלמידי הון ועל כל תלמידי הון ועל כל מון דעוסקים באורייתא דביאתרא קדושה הדין ודבכל אתר ואתר. יהי להון ולכון שלמה רבה, חינה וחיסתא רחמי וחיי אריכי וזוני רוויחי ופורקנה מן קדם אבוהון דבשמיא. ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וקיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
Everybody's welcome to take some cake, fruit, whatever. Yeah.